Welcome to Mid-State Money Talk. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kevin Dietrich and Al Dietrich of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated. And to our viewers at home, today's show is all about you. The success of the television show has been overwhelming, and the questions that come in not only from the television show, but also the seminars, they've all been based around certain topics, but specifically there's one that you want your questions answered, and that is going to be Social Security. So if you have questions regarding Social Security, don't turn that channel. Today's show is all the questions that you've been asking, and Al and Kevin are going to answer. Al, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good, it's so good to see you.
You too.
Thank you. And Kevin, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm so glad that we're doing this show today because people have so many questions regarding Social Security. So many people are wondering, is it even going to be there when it's time for me to retire? Sure. So I'm excited. Well, Al, I'm going to guide the first question to you because we've got about 3 million to get through. Is that okay?
Okay, very good.
Okay. Al, here's the first one. Are Social Security benefits taxable?
That's a good question. Social Security benefits the taxation of it is based upon your provisional income score. And so if it's under a certain amount, then no. If it's hits the other plateaus, it can be. And we can talk about that a little later as far as percentages and that type of thing. So,
okay.
So yes and no.
Yes and no. I love that. I love that.
Sure.
Well, Kevin, this next one is, what percentage of my Social Security benefits are subject to federal income tax? Big question.
Yeah, that sort of goes off of what he was saying. There's so much unknown when it comes to Social Security and when to take it. How much of it is taxed? So Al mentioned that provisional income is a formula that the government came up with to basically find out how much of your Social Security is taxable.
Okay.
So the worst case scenario is up to 85% of your Social Security could be subject to tax.
Okay.
Now, you're not paying 85% tax on that. It's obviously your tax rate of whatever the tax rate you are in with your other income, but they take in consideration of other income.
Okay.
Pension income, investment income, part-time work, whatever type of income that you have is part of that provisional income.
Okay. Okay. And Kevin, I'm going to put this other one right to you because those were so similar. Do I have to pay state income tax on my Social Security benefits?
Well, going back to my dad's first point was yes or no.
Okay.
So there's actually 9 states that you pay income tax from the state level.
Okay.
Pennsylvania, the state we're in, the show's in, you do not.
Okay.
Yep. So that's a simple question, but it's also a complicated question because I'm not going to list the 9 states, but you can look on Google for that.
Okay.
But there's 9 states, and Pennsylvania is not one of them.
All right. So our viewers at home know that that's not going to be them.
That's right. No state tax.
I love it.
Yep.
Thank you, Kevin. Al, this next question, is there a minimum income level at which Social Security benefits become taxable?
Yes.
Okay.
We talk about provisional income. It's a formula. And we cover this in our workshops and in our individual meetings with folks that want to come in and get answers. And there's a minimum income level based upon their criteria. And if you're single and you earn $25,000 or more, then up to 50% of your Social Security can be taxed at whatever tax rate you're in at that point. If you're married filing jointly, it's $34,000. If you're making over $34,000, then yes, it can be taxable.
Now that provisional income, let me just have a caveat to this, is 50% of your Social Security benefit goes into the formula. So not all of your benefit goes into the formula, just 50% of the household. So if you're individual, if you're single, it's 50% of your benefit, plus all of your other ordinary income, they call that, plus dividends, capital gains, non-taxable interest, all that stuff comes into play. Okay. If you're married, filing jointly, all of your combined Social Security benefit from a couple's perspective, plus all the other ordinary income, dividends, capital gains, all that goes into the formula. Yeah. And if the formula is, if that amount of money is under 35,000, then none of your Social Security is subject to tax.
Okay.
You might be poor, but you're not paying tax on your Social Security.
Okay.
Makes sense?
It does.
So there is a formula that Al mentioned, and that's how that works.
Okay. All right.
It's just easy to understand, right?
Yeah.
Just
Right, it's
so
totally.
simple, right?
Yeah.
And
Everyone's just writing that down at home, no problem.
We're like,
we're
okay,
good to
I got
go.
this.
And the other thing is that this has not changed since it was enacted in the 90s.
Okay.
So those levels should be subject to change. I don't know if they will be, but and back then, single person earning 25,000 with half of their Social Security, they could pay their bills. I'm not so sure that that's the case today.
Yeah.
In 2025, when this is being aired.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the average person doesn't need to know this. They need to find someone that does have this information, that does this every day,
Sure.
and get the help that's needed there. And that's what we're doing, trying to do here. And so if you want help, just give us a call. The QR code will be on the screen, and we'll help you figure this out.
Well, Kevin, great point that you just made. I want to ask you this, though. How can I find out if I need to pay taxes on my Social Security benefits? How does a person find that out?
Yeah, they have to go through the formula. I mean, and we sit down with pen and paper, and we go through it. We look at the tax brackets that they're in, and it is a process, and that's part of our planning process when they come in and they go through the processes with us to get a plan together for their retirement. So we do all of that, all the legwork for them. We know all the ins and outs, the formulas that the government likes to come up with. We know all of those things. So it's just as easy as picking up the phone, really, and just giving us a call.
And I love that because people have so many questions regarding Social Security. It's very confusing. It's not as easy as people think of, I'm just going to turn it on at this age.
Right.
But there's so many different strategies that people need to be aware of. And Al, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. What were you about to say?
Forget.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
It is one of those things that you really should sit down and talk to folks about, because for the majority of people today who's retiring, Social Security can be their only income, or it can be the basis, the foundation of an income plan, which you want to be able to have needs-based money and wants-based money.
Yes.
So, yes, and Social Security is a major decision. It affects every other area of your retirement program.
Sure. It's one of the paychecks versus playchecks. I
Thank
love
you.
that because
Yeah,
I love
thank
that
you.
episode that
Yep.
we did. And it makes perfect sense to me now about having that be the foundation. And for many of you at home, Social Security is the basic foundation. Al, one question I want to ask you before we take a commercial break shortly, but are Social Security survivor benefits taxable?
Yes, and in the same way.
Okay.
Yes. Survivor benefits, typically, if husband and wife and one of them passes away, most of the time they're both on Social Security. So the survivor gets the higher of the two checks. Okay.
Okay.
So in that case, most times it is the spouse that is making the most money. They end up dying first. I don't know why, but I guess men don't outlive women a lot of times. So yes, and usually that's a nice step up. It's a good question because it is a nice step up. But the downside is you lose the other Social Security check. So now what do we do?
Exactly. Al, thank you. Kevin, I'm going to squeeze in one more question before we take a commercial break, but can I choose to have federal taxes withheld from my Social Security benefits?
Well, actually, absolutely, you can, and you should.
Okay.
When you actually file for a Social Security benefit, we can help you do that as well. You go online typically. They have really pushed a lot of this online, creating an account and doing a lot of the navigating through online, but it can still be confusing.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of navigation that you need to do. But you can definitely hold income tax, and you can change that whenever you like to. There's actually a story I have. There's a young lady that came in. She's 62, and she's going to file for Social Security. Pardon me, I'm sorry. She's 66, and she's going to file for Social Security. And she also has a pension from the state, and so her pension's pretty substantial.
Okay.
And so the question was, to me, was what do I withhold from which one?
Yes.
Right. And so that could be confusing. So we sit down with a pen and paper, we run the numbers, and we decided to withhold a certain percentage from the Social Security, certain percentage from the pension, which will equal what then she wouldn't have to pay as much tax at the end of the year out of her pocket, obviously. And that's really what we're looking for, is to try to eliminate that big tax bill at the end of the year.
Sure.
And we can reevaluate that as well every year. Are we pulling enough out for taxes? Is she withholding enough? Could she withhold less? When she starts hitting, 73 to take RMDs, she might be able to withhold a bit less.
Sure.
So there's certain things that you can do there. But yes, to answer your question, she can withhold tax on Social Security.
And I love today's show because honestly, the more that I listen to you gentlemen talk about Social Security, I realize it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Oh, no, not
you
at all.
customize a plan for everyone that comes into your office so that you can listen to what their goals and their needs are and make sure that they're taking the right step, including something so important as Social Security.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take a quick commercial break. To our viewers at home, if you're in the viewing audience today and you're asking yourself, do I have all of the information that I need for my Social Security? If the answer is no and you don't have a retirement plan, this is the perfect time for you to call into the number on your screen. That number is 888-959-2743. What you're being offered today is a complimentary consultation to develop a customized retirement plan. Learn how the foundation of your retirement will be Social Security for many of you and how you can make sure that you're turning it on at exactly the right time. All of the different pieces and parts will fit into your perfect retirement puzzle. But you have to do one thing. Call in today, 888-959-2743. If you don't have a pen handy, please grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for First Choice Financial Services Incorporated, and you can schedule your time accordingly. We'll be right back after this very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. It's all about Social Security today. Stay tuned.
When we tell someone something, they'll say, we can take that to the bank. If we can't do something, we'll tell them that. We're straight up with our clients. It all comes down to using the products for the people's needs, not selling product.
Being independent means that we have freedom to do what's best for our clients. We're not beholden to any other party to make sure that we're meeting a quota or restricted on what it is that we can do or provide. We're free to go out into the market and find what's best for them and what's going to meet their needs.
The world's our oyster, as far as what resources we have for our clients, and that's beneficial for our clients more than anything.
Don't be afraid to go ask for help. Find somebody you can trust and start the process. Obviously, the financial part is very important. Having a plan in place that's going to provide you with sustainable income, that's resilient to the changes of life and of the market, that's really important.
Money doesn't care who it serves. And one of the things that we like to do in our company is we like to be able to help people determine where their money is going to be and who it's going to serve generation after generation.
Welcome back to Mid-State Money Talk. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kevin Dietrich and Al Dietrich of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated. We're talking all about the confusing puzzle of Social Security. How do these pieces fit together? Well, Al, Kevin, and Joe hear these questions every single day, so today's show is dedicated just to Social Security. Al, I want to guide this next question to you. This is from someone who's very curious about this. If I work part-time while receiving Social Security benefits, will my earnings affect the taxability of my benefits?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There's a limit. If you start your Social Security early, the limit is lower than if you started at your full retirement age. Okay, and or at age 66, and then there is no limit once you hit your full retirement age.
Okay.
So it's a three-part answer.
Okay.
But yes, it can be. Your part-time earnings, sweat of the brow, earned income, is tracked, and if it goes over a number, and it's different every year. Let's say $22,000. If you're under full retirement age or age 66. Once it exceeds that, then the amount of money over that $22,000 range or whatever it is at the time that you're applying, you have to pay back Social Security benefits $1 for every $2 earned over that limit.
Okay, $1 for
And
every
of course,
two.
if you do it at age 66, the limit is much higher.
Okay.
But there's more to it than that, too. It's all about what month am I starting it? And, should I start it today, or should I look back 6 months, or should I wait till age 64 if I'm 63 and a half? And it's not an easy question to answer.
No, it's not.
That's why we promote people to come into our office. That's why we don't charge folks when they come in. We say, come into our office, get these answers. You don't usually get a second chance to make a good decision on this.
That's true. That's true.
And you're talking about the base income for the rest of your life. You're also talking about a base income for your surviving spouse for the remainder of their life.
Absolutely.
So there are so many tweaks that you should be making here.
Yeah.
You owe it to yourself. Really, you do, to get the answers before you make the decision. And we're here to help you. Just feel free to pick up the phone.
Yeah, there's so many factors that go into it. And I mean, Dad mentioned the FRA. Well, what is that? We haven't even touched on that yet.
Exactly.
And just to caveat to that is these questions are from our readers and our audience. I mean, we have clients come in, prospects come into our office every day that have a list of questions just like this.
Yeah.
And I usually start with this, what's your questions? And we go over those, and then we get into the meeting. And so these questions that we're asking today, I know it's like a question answer type format, but these are real questions that people are concerned about.
Yes.
So FRA is an abbreviation for full retirement age, and that's the age the worker begins receiving their benefit without any type of penalty
Okay.
or any earning limits.
Okay.
So that's based off of your date of birth.
Okay.
So if you're born from 1954 to 1960, somewhere in there, your full retirement age is 66 in so many months.
Okay.
Okay. If after 1960, your full retirement age is 67. Period.
Okay.
So I was born in 1974. So my retirement, my full retirement age is 67.
67.
Pardon me. Yes.
Yeah.
He was born in, should I say it?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
1955. 1955. So his full retirement age is 66 and
2 months.
2 months.
Okay.
2
So
months for
every
each year.
every year after 1954 that you're born, you add 2 months to age 66.
Okay. All right.
So
wow.
now the viewers at home have to remember that, right?
Yes,
so,
that's important.
But if
Write
they,
it
or they
down.
can just come in and talk to us, and we'll help tell them what that looks like. But
The only thing you
Absolutely.
really have to remember is the number on that screen.
that's right.
That's the most
Pick up the
important
phone
thing
and
to
call us.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
because all of these
That's why we're here.
questions. Well, and you answer them also. I should mention, obviously, the TV show is so extraordinarily popular. So thank you, viewers at home. But also, you do seminars.
We do.
Talk a little bit about that before I ask the next Social Security question.
Yeah, so we do a workshop or seminar, if you want to call it that, once a month in the central Pennsylvania area, the mid-state. And we look at Social Security, Medicare, and taxes and retirement.
Okay.
Those are our 3 topics, and we hit on all 3 of those each time.
Wow.
We go in depth, but also we go a general term because every individual is different. So there's some questions that are just individually asked.
Yes.
And so we allow them to come into our office, get a second opinion, or get a consultation on making that right decision. That's really important that they do that. So our office is always filled with people coming in and getting those questions answered. We love to help the audience at home.
Absolutely. And Kevin, I'm going to ask you one question before we take another commercial break in a moment. Are there any deductions or credits available to reduce the taxability of my Social Security benefits?
So like my dad likes to say yes and no.
Okay.
Okay. So it really is based on their individual situation.
Exactly.
So that's really a hard question just to generalize, other than just saying yes or no, based on their individual income levels, tax rates, that sort of thing. There's lots of factors that go into that. So that's really a hard question to answer without actually knowing some details of the individual.
Right. So it's not a cookie cutter response
it's not.
at any
No. How they file, when they file, as far as, am I filing single, married, head of household, whatever. And the taxability of it, again, is based upon the provisional income formula, and so that's something we keep coming back to that, but that is the measuring stick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And about the workshops.
Yes.
You can, if you want to know where we are, when we are there, what times there are, and so on, just go to our website, firstchoicefinancialservicesinc.com. It's just our name.com. And you'll find all of the things that we're doing and the promotions that we're making at that time. And a lot of times people will send out mail that alerts a lot of people in a certain area.
Okay.
We do Camp Hill, we do East Shore, West Shore, we do York, Lancaster, Lebanon, Halifax.
Wow. Okay.
Halifax, right? Halifax. And our seminars are usually, filled.
I'm sure they are.
And we enjoy that. But we'll field answers to common questions. But if a question is too personal, we'll ask if we can do that individually.
Yes, that makes sense.
And when people leave our seminars, they tell us all the time, I've been to a lot of these meetings, and you guys don't provide a dinner or anything. I said, no, we take care of your main meal with information.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that because that is the main meal right there.
And they love them. They love the workshops. They said, we get all of our questions answered, and we get a chance to see you and talk to you. And so anyway, we love doing workshops.
I can tell. Well, you're so serving, all of you. I just love working with your group because to the viewers at home, in case you're watching us for the very first time, these gentlemen have a passion for truly serving others. So what you see is what you get with this team. Time for our next commercial break.
Sure.
To our viewers at home, there's a number for you to call on your screen. That number is 888-959-2743. If you're in the viewing audience today, you're asking yourself, do I have all of the information I need for my retirement plan? Do I understand the myriad of questions around Social Security? If the answer is no, why not take the opportunity? Call in today for your complimentary consultation. That number, 888-959-2743, or you can grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That'll take you right to the landing page for First Choice Financial Services Incorporated, and you can schedule your time accordingly. You deserve to have a customized retirement plan. Don't miss the opportunity. We'll be right back momentarily.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Welcome back to Mid-State Money Talk. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kevin Dietrich and Al Dietrich of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated. We're talking all about questions regarding Social Security. We know that you have a lot of them, so thank you for watching and staying with us today. Kevin, I want to talk to you a little bit about some misconceptions about Social Security and taxes. Misconception number one, all Social Security benefits are subject to federal income tax. Why is that a misconception?
Yeah, that goes back to a lot of our previous questions, and we hit on a lot of these things, but there are misconceptions. Is all of your Social Security benefits are taxed? Yes or no? Well, yes or no, they are. So it's up to that provisional income formula. We have to put basically stress test your benefits there and see how much of your benefit is taxable, if any at all.
Okay, all right, perfect. Al, this next misconception kind of ties in, but if you work while receiving Social Security benefits, your benefits will always be taxed.
No, I addressed that a little earlier when I said if you're taking benefits before full retirement age or age 66, there is an earned income amount that will determine how much of that benefit could be taxable. And I just used an example of $22,000. So if your earned income is over $22,000, the amount over that would be subject to be paid back and taxable. Could be taxable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. right,
under
but not
full
always.
retirement age.
That's right.
That's
Under
where the
full retirement age.
Earning limits are under full retirement age.
Okay.
So once you hit full retirement age, there's no earning limits at all. You can make as much money as you like to outside of Social Security without any type of penalty.
Okay.
But there is taxable amounts there.
And there's three areas that you want to look at that we talked about. Under 66, 66, and then your full retirement age. And
Okay.
they all three are subject to different rules.
Okay.
So
People-
give us a call.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best answer right there. Call
That's
in.
right. Exactly.
So, Kevin, this next question, it's actually a misconception, rather. If you owe taxes on your Social Security benefits, you will need to pay them in a lump sum. What is the fact on that one?
The
Lump
fact is
sum.
that you can pay your tax that you owe in Social Security benefit just like you pay your tax on your earned income.
Okay.
Over a period of time, you can do quarterly payments. It doesn't have to be paid out as a lump sum. It's just a tax amount that you owe to the IRS. It just happens to be based on your Social Security benefits, not your other income.
Okay.
So it operates the same way.
And just like you said earlier, you can, if you don't get that right, you can make changes along the way.
Sure.
So that you don't have that bill at the end of the year if that's a concern for you.
Perfect. Al, thank you so much. And then flipping over, we have 5 most important things to know about Social Security benefits and taxes. And I want to try to get through at least a couple of these. Number 1, Al, understand how your Social Security benefits are taxed. Why is that important?
Well, yes, you want to, again, in determining how much of that Social Security you want to have withdrawn for tax, you want to know how it impacts the rest of your income. You want to know how much of the Social Security itself is going to be taxed in addition to your normal income. So yeah, there's many, many reasons. And the toughest answer, the toughest thing I think our viewers will need to do is to decide, do I want to get these answers now before I make my decision or afterwards and hope I can change it? And I just say this to you every time: pick up the phone and call, and come in and talk to us. I think you'll be glad you did.
I know they will be glad that they did, because there are so many questions regarding Social Security. And I know our viewers at home, we only have about less than a minute. But number 2, monitor your income, considering having taxes withheld from your Social Security benefits. Plan ahead. Most importantly, seek professional advice. We can't stress that enough. Seek professional advice when it comes to your Social Security. Gentlemen, thank you so much for another
very
amazing
welcome.
episode this week. You're such amazing professionals. To our viewers at home, the number to call is 888-959-2743. Questions about Social Security or how to plan your perfect retirement, you're being offered a customized retirement plan just by calling in, no obligation, 888-959-2743, or click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed most of all. We'll see you back 1 week from today. Take care now.